Thank God NASCAR is back this week, but it wouldn't be the tentative 2-week break without a little Bianchi bomb, and now we have a look at what the 2025 NASCAR playoffs will look like thanks to the Athletics' Jordan Bianchi. And let's just say the fans are not too happy with what is transpiring with NASCAR's grand plans for competing with football and trying to be let's just say more of an entertainment sport than an actual sport. So today we're going to go ahead and break down what the actual 10-race 2025 NASCAR playoff schedule looks like, the problems with it, how it can be fixed, and why NASCAR is making such foolish decisions.
High, push it, checker flag, hell yeah!
What's the caution for? Me?
Can I not push it in?
Stop anybody.
Come on, he's going! Way to go, boys!
One hell of a job, man. One hell of a job. Thank you so much.
This might actually be the video that NASCAR bans me for, but hey, that's okay. Welcome back on into the program. This is Shifting Gears, and I am a very frustrated Alan Bailey. I don't know. I'm very all over the place, let's just say, with this schedule. I see what NASCAR's trying to do. I don't like what they're doing. And before we get into it, make sure that you mash that subscribe button so that you do not miss a video. And of course, log on to arnrace.com for the latest motorsports news. ARN, the Motorsports Authority. Let's just start with the round of 16, round 1 of the 2025 playoffs, thanks to our friend Jordan Bianchi over at The Athletic. We now know that Darlington will more than likely open the first race of the playoffs on August 31st with the Southern 500. I absolutely actually love that this race opens the playoffs. I was against it at first. I thought that the Southern 500 should have its own standalone weekend, that it should be special, that it should be historic, and there shouldn't be the pressure of the playoffs. But honestly, opening the playoffs with the Southern 500 has kind of done the opposite. It's actually gotten fans extremely excited about the playoffs. Drivers go into that race thinking, I want to win this race, screw the playoffs, and they don't really think about the playoffs that opening weekend because they want to win the Southern 500 so much. And I love it. Keep it where it is. Now, week number 2, September 7th, out at Gateway. I'm against this. I think it's really stupid. NASCAR put this race here presumably because that is tentatively going to be the opening round of the NFL's season. It's going to be week 1 for them. And the fact that Gateway has no NFL in town is kind of why they did this. And they were thinking, oh, well, this will definitely sell this out. This place will be sold out. But is selling 50,000 seats really like priority 1 for NASCAR? Because that's what this place roughly holds, anywhere from 50 to 60,000. And I'm sorry, I don't think that setting the bar lower is necessarily the best plan. Great race, not a great racetrack, but it's a fine racetrack with fine on-track racing products. It's not bad, it's not good, it's somewhere in the middle. I do think that the facilities themselves massively need to be updated. And you look at the playoffs, you look at NASCAR's playoffs, we're supposed to be in the best of the best venues, the best of the best racing, the best of the best towns, the best of the best facilities, and it's supposed to be this prestigious thing, putting it in, frankly, a city that does deserve a postseason race, at a racetrack that is fine, but a racing facility that is subpar, let's just say to be polite, isn't necessarily the best look. I get why NASCAR did this, but Gateway needs to step up their facilities truly in order to really earn a playoff date, in my opinion. Now, race number 3 on September 13th is going to the Bristol Night Race, another crown jewel race. I love the Bristol Night Race. I question why 2, frankly, crown jewel races are in the first round. I would have honestly maybe put this down to round number 2, early October. I think that would have been a cooler time for it, but Bristol's weather is what it is. Maybe opening the round of 2, or the round of 12, I should say, with Bristol would have been a better move, but fine. Honestly, it's in the playoffs. It's a great short track, great facility, great town. It's going to pack that house out. I don't necessarily think it's going to be a sellout, but it's still going to be pretty damn good. Now, round number 2, the round of 12, takes place at Loudon. We open up on September 21st. It's a parking lot. I'm sorry, New Hampshire is a parking lot, and that area deserves a better racetrack. It has been a garbage racetrack as far as on-track products forever, it's never produced a good race out there. I'm sorry, it hasn't. I know there's a lot of fan favorite drivers that have won out there, but it's a forgettable, I can miss this race, and it's just doesn't belong in the postseason. It's only ever been there because when NASCAR first debuted the playoffs 20 plus years ago, it happened to have a date around that time, and NASCAR went, we'll leave it there. And it's more or less kept that carte blanche ever since. I don't think it belongs in the playoffs. I'd rather see Homestead Miami, which is now absent from the playoffs, in that date instead. Now, the next race, September 28th, out at Kansas. Chef's kiss. Perfect. It's honestly a phenomenal racetrack, phenomenal on-track racing, phenomenal crowd. It sells out every time. Honestly, the argument could be made that this should be the championship race, the final race of the year. But honestly, the area doesn't really support it. You can't really bring international media and fans to this facility simply because the area doesn't really support it. But the on-track racing is phenomenal, and I think that it belongs in the playoffs. Leave it where it is. Leave it in the playoffs anywhere. It's absolutely perfect. The final race of the round of 12 goes to the Charlotte Roval. It does need a road course. The playoffs do need a road course. I'm a big supporter of that. I don't necessarily think that it should be the Roval. I think that the Roval was a great experiment when we debuted it in 2018, I want to say, and it was fine, honestly, but that was back when the cars raced a little bit better on the road courses. Now they race phenomenally on the mile and a halves, and I do think it's time to go ahead and bring back that oval. I do love the Roval. I'd like to see something done with the Roval. I don't know what that is necessarily. Maybe we need to bring back preseason testing at the Charlotte Roval and the Charlotte Oval. Maybe that'll happen sometime down the road. I don't necessarily see it happening anytime soon. But SMI is redoing the layout. They're completely repaving a new section of the track on the inside of the Roval. So I'm curious to see what that looks like when we go there later this year. Now, round 3, the round of 8, opens up at Las Vegas on October 12th. Cool. Honestly, Vegas hasn't really produced these banger races like it has in the past, but honestly, the facilities, the city, the crowd, they all show up. I would like to see this race maybe a little bit closer to the end of the season. I know that sounds weird, but I think that this race suffers from heat. I was at this race a couple of years ago for the playoff race, and it was extremely hot. It was pushing 100 degrees, and the crowd definitely was dwindled because of it. And I do think that pushing this back maybe to a night race might actually be better for the fans in the area. This one definitely raised some eyebrows, and I think it's the clear smoke and gun that NASCAR truly doesn't care about the actual competition, the actual skill set, and actually showing who's going to win this championship based on talent, based on their team's abilities, but instead luck and or the flip of the coin. On October 19th, we're heading out to Talladega Super Speedway, the wild card race that has really no talent. It's all luck. Let's just be honest here. It comes down to luck. It comes down to crossing your fingers and toes and hoping that you don't get collected in the big one that inevitably happens. And it's not really a good race to determine a championship. And considering it's the third to last race of the season is just a bad look for NASCAR. The fact that they own the track, the fact that they're putting money in their own pockets because of putting this race there, I think is fine. It is what it is. They're a business. I get it. But it doesn't actually help to show who's going to win this championship based off of talent. It just puts it as a crapshoot, and I hate it. I think Dega should be in the round of 12, not in the round of 8 with only, frankly, one other race to determine your final 4 after that. I don't know. I absolutely hate it. Now, the final race of the round of 8, Martinsville on October 26th, awesome. I think that this is actually a really, really good move. Keep this Martinsville cutoff race as the second to last race forever. I think it's a great idea. My only thing that I'm going to go ahead and preach, this race needs to be a night race. And I know that's going to compete with the NFL. This race needs to be under the lights on Sunday night, not Saturday night, and in prime time. I know that's going to piss off a lot of NFL fans, and frankly, I'm at a point where I don't care. Because honestly, NASCAR's in its playoffs. The NFL is in its early season at that point. And if NASCAR truly wants to compete with the NFL, actually compete with the NFL. If NASCAR doesn't want to compete with the NFL and actually see those dollars roll in and make the smarter business decision, then actually shorten up the season or get the playoffs out of the way before the NFL season starts. That's my opinion. And then once again, in 2025, the NASCAR season will end out at Phoenix on November 2nd. Great facility. Honestly, I was there last year when Ryan Blaney won his championship, and the facility is perfect. Honestly, the fans show up. They sell this place out. It's like 3 years running that they've sold out. They deserve the championship race. The on-track racing needs to be better, honestly, and I don't know how to fix that at this point. I truly don't. I really, really don't. I wish I did, but the facility itself is phenomenal. I think it needs to be the benchmark for what NASCAR needs to do at every single racing facility moving forward. The internet actually does work out there, surprisingly, at least in the infield it does. And I do think that it does deserve the championship race. I would love to see it go back to Homestead, Miami, don't get me wrong, but that facility in and of itself does need to be brought up to standards in 2025 now. And I think that they're working on that. Maybe that comes back in the next couple of years, but overall, this playoff, especially with Dega moving so far down in the schedule, tells me that they truly don't care about actually earning this championship. It is all about ratings. It is all about the entertainment value of this and not the actual sport part of it. And I'm incredibly disappointed in NASCAR for this, honestly. I wish that they kind of got their head out of their own ass and frankly move some things around. These 10 tracks I don't know necessarily are the best tracks with the best racing and the best facilities that we have in NASCAR. I don't think that Gateway belongs in there. I don't think that Loudon belongs in there. The Charlotte race should be on the oval, not the Roval, and there should be a actual road course inserted into this 10 race playoffs. Which one that is, I still vote for, honestly, Watkins Glen. That's probably the best short road course racing that we have in all of NASCAR, but it doesn't look like that's where we're going. I want to hear from you, though. What do you think about the 2025 NASCAR playoff schedule? It's not official, but Bianchi is reporting it, and I trust Jordan Bianchi. Let me know in the comments down below. And while you're there, make sure that you mash that subscribe button so that you do not miss a video. And of course, log on to arnrace.com for the latest motorsports news. ARN, the Motorsports Authority. I want to thank you so much for watching. For Shifting Gears, I'm Alan Bailey. We'll see you at the track.